All right, welcome to the weekend video. This is Enda here from bullways.org. As usual, coming to you at the end of the week to kind of wrap up what's been going on in terms of patterns. There's a lot going on in terms of human machinations, let's say that. But in terms of the patterns, it's had some effect. The actions today has had some effect, but overall, we're actually kind of pretty steady. I'm going to start on the $FX for you guys who know me. Start the $FX, go through the stock market, go through the rest of what's going on, and then I end with the good news. So let's get into that. Here is Eurodollar, the daily count in Eurodollar. When we were back down here at around 103, 104, 102, that area, and I was looking for a turn up to begin wave 3, and it seemed forever, and that turn did not come. And then suddenly the turn came, and we retraced all, and some of the declines into wave 2. Now we're at the top, and here we are sitting at 115. We have a wave 1 rally done, and I'm looking for wave 2. So I'm looking for a pretty serious decline, back towards 107, 106, that kind of area. And it seems to be taking forever. And it seems to be, I seem to be getting caught off guard here, and I seem to be stuck on the wrong side of the fence. But I'm just reminiscent. This is reminiscent of way back down here, and it's reminiscent of when we were back up at the top of wave B. It's the same thing. The market's taking its time, and when it goes, it'll go in a serious way. Okay? So on the 4-hour count, you can see I am tracking a wave 2 correction here. And I think we're at the top of a wave B of 2. Now, I don't know whether that top is in. Hopeful that it is. It's an expanded flat correction already because we've broken out above the wave 1 high. But it has yet to be confirmed with a move down in, a significant move down into wave 1 of C. So, somewhere down below 114 again, I think would do that. We've been chugging up in 3 waves overall, a series of 3 waves overall up into a top of a B wave. And we should turn down in an impulsive manner into wave C sooner rather than later, I hope. And that's the outlook for next week, I think, really. The same thing, same backstory here, same outlook here. This is wave 2 here was actually a running flat correction, so a variation on an expanded flat correction. So the wave B of 2 broke out above the wave 1 high. And then we did come down in a serious fashion, 134 down to about 121 somewhere in around there. So that's a serious decline, about 1,300 points. And then when wave 2 was done, we turned higher into wave 1 of 3, and here we are sitting at the top of wave 1 of 3, and nobody thinks we're going to turn down into wave 2 at all, which we will. Here is the kind of contracting range, I think. In wave 5 of 1, kind of a variation on a theme. We've been tracking wave 5 for the last week or so. Here we are. It started with a serious rally in wave 1, a correction in wave 2, a less impressive rally in wave 3, correction in wave 4, again a running flat correction in wave 4, and then we're just kind of tiptoeing our way up to a top of a 5th wave in wave 1, and wave 1 is done. When wave 1 is done, wave 2 will come, and we will retrace much of the rally that we had in wave 1. So I think we're going back down to below 130 again, probably somewhere down around the previous 4th wave, so somewhere down around 127, I think, which is nigh on 900 points. I think we'll probably get down there in 3 waves into wave 2, and that's been waiting for that wave to begin, and we haven't got there yet. We've basically spent the last 2 weeks going sideways. It's been a bit of a pickle to try and figure out what the heck has been going on. But here we are, we're sitting at the top, we're completely run out of juice in this pattern, Maybe even today's lower high is the top of wave 5. I don't know. Um, if we get we haven't had an impulsive decline to break support yet. So if we get an impulsive decline to break support, somewhere back below 135, somewhere again, maybe into 134, I'll be happy to call, the top of wave 1 done, and we'd be working on wave 2. As it stands, still looking for confirmation on that. Okay, so dollar yen. Dollar yen looking for a rally. I don't know if this is going to be a I don't know if this is going to be a rally into a third wave, but I do believe we are going to see a rally. And I've been tracking this wave C of 2 for a while, and the pattern at the moment seems to suggest that we have one more drop to before below 140 before we turn up into a serious leg up anyway. You'll see that on the shorter term count, but for the moment we're still looking at a 1-2 pattern with a possibility of a third wave. I don't know how that's going to happen, but at the moment that looks like where we're standing. Here you have an ending diagonal pattern in wave C of 2. If this is correct, then we've got wave 1, 2, 3, 4 done, and we're about to finish in wave 5. The pattern has gone more or less sideways for almost a month, and you'll see that in the hourly count here. That is suggested as wave B as a triangle. So we've been looking at a contracting range in wave B this week. Possible triangle, wave E of B is close to complete, I think, if this is correct, and then we'll turn down into wave C of 5. So wave C of 5 will break 140 again, and then we would turn higher, I think. The only way that this outlook is not correct is if we have a first wave up already done, and this is some sort of correction in a second wave. I wouldn't be too confident on that one now, to be quite honest, but I'm looking for a C wave decline to complete wave 5. That'll be ending diagonal done, and look up then for the medium term anyway. Okay, so here's the daily count. In the Dow, we had a false start. What is it? At the beginning of the month, that false start rejected the B wave high. So you can see that we have, the previous B wave high within wave A that did hold the pattern, that did hold the rally, and we rejected that in quite an impulsive manner. I was looking at a retracement, a corrective retracement up off that, and then we broke out to a new high this week. So the pattern has been frustrating. To be brutally honest, it's been frustrating. I still think we're sitting at a B wave, lower high. We've got ABC down in A. We've got A, B, C up in wave B. I think sentiment has been as bullish, if not more bullish, than the all-time highs in this B wave, but nothing to indicate yet that we have turned down into wave C. So, and that'll be wave C of A. So it'll be still looking at a really long-term decline here. Why am I not calling this an impulsive rally? Well, we've got a clear 3-wave rise in wave A, a clear 3-wave decline in wave B, and I think we've got the makings of an ending diagonal here in wave C. Go to the hourly count, you can see that. Wave 3 of C, ABC wave 4 of C, and then ABC wave 5 of C, possibly. Interesting to see the move today. Yeah, there's nothing here yet to, call wave 1 underway. The previous fourth wave low lies at about 41,150. So if we see a break of that, then we'll be more confident on this turn here, but it hasn't happened yet. So at the moment, that's what I'm looking for. We still have a lower B wave, lower high. You can see here on the hourly chart, I've marked the levels of significance here. So this is the wave A high. I'll go back to the 4-hour count. I'll show you here. The wave A level there. See wave A of B. So That comes about just under 41,000. So I'll show you that on the hourly count. So there's wave A of B. Yeah, so 40,900. Wave where wave C and wave A reach equality lies here at 42,157. So we broke above where the both waves within wave B, if A and C reach equality, we broke above that. We've fallen back down towards that Friday evening, but where was the next level of interest? It was the wave B of A. So if we go to the 4-hour count, you can see here is wave B of wave A. So 3 waves down in A. Here's the wave B, inner retracement within wave A. The market has bounced up against that 1, 2, 3 times now. 3 times the charm? I surely do hope so, but no confirmation on that. I'm sounding much less, how would you say, confident this evening, but my confidence has been broken, I think, this one. But it still does stink of a B wave rally. It's all falsehood, it's all lies, it's all bravado, it's all the underlyings of the economy have been crumbling for well over probably years now at this point. So, just watch out. The fall could come quickly. That's all I'd say there. So for next week, I'll be looking for wave 1 down. That's all. Again, the eternal search for wave 1 down. Okay, so here is gold, the daily count. Possible topping in wave 3. We shall see. Wave 4 is a long way down, if that's the truth. You can see we've got 3 waves down. That'll be a wave A. Possible 3 waves up completing in wave B. And then we'd have a decline into wave C of A. On the hourly count, you can see wave A down, a possible ABC up in wave B. Now, we have not turned down into wave C yet. Why am I calling this a B wave pattern here? Now, it's a complex B wave pattern. It's a combination wave. 3 waves up in A, 3 waves down in B, and then 3 waves up in C. I did believe that we had the top done, probably the previous video, but this week we pipped above it again. So, the eternal optimism just has not been broken yet. But that would be a B wave anyway, wouldn't it? So internal B wave seems to be where we're sitting, just like the stock market. The rally in wave B has peaked out possibly in the area of the previous B wave at 1 lower degree. So if you were looking for a B wave, maybe that would be a good point to, a good target to have in the first place. And here we are sitting at that target, but we haven't turned down yet. So next week, I would look for a turn down into wave C. Crude oil. Since we spoke last, since I spoke yesterday to the guys on the website, we've had a shocker of a day today. Again, every one of these breakout rallies has been retraced. For the last 3 years, every time crude oil has tried to break out, it's been broken. I think fundamentally crude oil is broken. I think there's just too many producers. It's not. It's a commodity. It shouldn't be trading like a meme coin. It shouldn't be trading like I don't know. The most today's trade. That shouldn't have happened. But the market is so memeified. It's so debased that here we are. Crude will jump $10 or whatever in one day. It's a bit pathetic, to be honest. The world at the moment is kind of drowning in oil. The amount of oil producers that are out there. I wouldn't be surprised. We're going to start pumping oil soon. The ubiquity of oil is everywhere. So just don't be surprised. And we've started World War III. So what's going to happen? More oil will be pumped. It'll be Pump, baby, pump. You did not hear that wrong. I do think that we are well into World War III at the moment. It just doesn't look like your granddad's war. It's looking a bit different. So we had this breakout rally today. I still think this is 3 waves up. I don't know if wave C is done. Wave C of 4, it shouldn't break the previous wave too high, so it shouldn't break 79.50. We have 3 waves up. The explosive move today, it's a knee-jerk reaction. It has been at least 50% retraced today. Let's see if that continues to next week. I wouldn't be surprised that you'll get announcements from, various different producers across the world. Not even announcements, you just get pumping. And I don't know, that won't even be, driver of this market, it seems. Someone bet heavy today, and it seems like they've sold out. So let's see if we turn down into wave 5. I still think that wave 5 of 5 is going to bring us well down, probably into the 40s when this is underway. And I think that would be very fitting for the type of economy that we'll be operating, in the near future. So we'll see. This is an ending diagonal in wave 5. We'll see. Have we topped in wave 4? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wave 5 left to come. Let's see if that begins next week. The hourly count. Broke out above the upper trend channel line again today. So let's see if we get back down into that trend channel line tomorrow. Or not tomorrow. Next week. Okay, let's move on. I won't lie that move today has really stretched things. That's quite certain. We've well broken above where I thought wave 4 would go, even with this new wave count. So wave 5 better get going, if this is going to continue being the main count here. Okay, let's go to the S&P and see the S&P wave B almost brought us out to a new all-time high. Tell me how this economy requires a new all-time high. I don't know. That is the unreal world we live in. Okay, so if this is B wave, then we've got to go into wave C. We seem to be failing at this lower high at the moment. The pattern today seems to be only 3 waves down. I don't know whether this is going to develop into an actual impulsive pattern. So is it going to be an accelerative 3rd wave down? We will see. Obviously, those who trade the S&P don't think that anything lies ahead but blue skies and plain sailing. I don't know. I think reality has got to bite the world in the ass pretty soon. Okay, we've got a silver. Here's the 4-hour count in silver. This accelerative move into wave 3, I think, is close to wave 3 of 3 done. The action this week has been mostly corrective, to be quite honest. I think that is wave 4 of 5 of 3. So this is wave 3 of 3. Not sure we're quite done there yet. Once we get, if we break the previous wave 3 high, then it'll probably favor the idea that wave 4 is already underway. But at the moment, we've had a rebound and a correction today. It could indicate that wave 5 still has to push higher to complete wave 3 in blue. And then next week, later on maybe, we'll correct into wave 4. And that is a quick run through the markets. I'm sorry I wasn't around last week. It just didn't happen. But, I'll give you the markets from my Elliott wave perspective, And then I usually give you the good news from my eternal perspective. I actually don't think in the end, if you've ever been to a funeral, you do know in the back of your mind that your life is going to end, your physical existence is going to end, but you're eternal. You are an eternal being. And I don't mean, we are all stardust. We live on forever. And you're not going to turn into a butterfly, for God's sake. You're not going to be reborn as a sloth on a tree or as a eagle flying over the savannah. No, you are a human creation made in the image and likeness of God. You have free will. Why do we have free will? They say, they always ask, a famous kind of retort to a person of faith is, if your God is real, why is there evil? And I would say, my God is real, and the existence of evil proves it. Because my God is love. And in order to have love, you must have free will. Love is not love without free will. You cannot program something to love you and call and say that that is love, because it's not. It's a choice. It's a choice that you make every day. Those of you who have kids know that love is something you do. It's not a mushy feeling inside your torso. Love is something you do. In love, they say, it's what you do that counts, not what you say. So the fact that we have free will means that we have a creator who gave us free will. And you can choose fellowship with that creator, or you can choose to turn away from that creator. And those who choose to turn away fall into evil. And then, just because we are, fallen flesh, the devil will use that and drive you to actively work against your creator. And God help you in eternity. Well, no, God won't help you in eternity. That's the problem. You have an eternity without God. He won't help you. But what did God do for guilty sinners so that we don't have to go to hell? That's the question. He reached into humanity. He took a body for himself. He lived the perfect life. He paid for your sins by dying on a cross, on a tree, and bled out. And to all those who believe, he will give eternal life. As it says in John, in the Gospel of John, this is the work that God requires, is to believe on the one he sent. That's what Jesus said. Believe on the one he sent. Believe on the one God sent. That is the work that's required of you. You can't work your way to heaven. Religion will try and convince you that you can work your way into the presence of your almighty creator, your perfect creator. You can't, because God will not fellowship with fallen man. You have to have your sin paid for, and that's why Messiah was sent. Okay, believe in the Lord Jesus and you will be saved. And even more important now, today, now that we have taken the next step into World War III, and everything, God said that he will make Jerusalem a cup of trembling and a burdensome stone to the nations at the end. And my word is Jerusalem not a couple of trembling and a burdensome stone. And all those who try to lift it will be dashed in two. That's what he said. So, come to faith now while it's easy, because it won't be pretty soon. See you on the website tonight. God bless. Bye bye.